So just imagine that you have an athlete with shoulder impingement, which at the end of the day, it is not. Or a patient with supposedly a radiculopathy, which at the end of the day is not radiculopathy, but a peripheral type of problem. Or a normal X-ray that hides a torn tendon, which you can see in seconds with musculoskeletal ultrasound. So today, we're going to talk about Sonoscript. Sonoscript is where we turn signals into certainty in the room in real time. So welcome to the show where images become decisions. See you in a moment. All right. Hello to Your Practice, Your Money, where clinical success meets financial freedom. And I'm your host, Dr. Dimitrios Kostopoulos. Please subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen podcasts, or go to our website, yourpracticeyourmoney.com. And today we're going to name the podcast differently. We're going to call it the Sonoscript Podcast. Well, if you work at the intersection of musculoskeletal ultrasound, potentially electrodiagnostics, and clinical decision-making, you are in the right place. In Sonoscript, we break down real-world cases, work through image acquisition and strategies, and translate findings into actually reportable, clear plans for care documentation that lead actually to reimbursements. And today we have in the show my two colleagues and business partners, the director of the Fellowship MSK Ultrasound program of the American Academy of Musculoskeletal Ultrasound, Dr. Mohini Rawat, and the assistant director of the Fellowship program, Dr. Konstantine Rizopoulos. So thank you guys for joining me again today to discuss about the new breakthrough in the musculoskeletal sonography area, Sonoscript. Let's find out first, what is Sonoscript? What specifically is Sonoscript?
So Sonoscript is a musculoskeletal ultrasound report writing application, and it is the only application that's available. We make documentation easy with this app. As we all know, like musculoskeletal ultrasound imaging is both art and science. After you know how to obtain those images, and now you have images and you know what you're looking at, you have to use the right words, you have to use the right format, and you have to write up. And for most people, this is the most time consuming part of utilizing ultrasound in their practice. So this application, this app makes that documentation part easy.
Great, thank you. And Kostas, what led to the development of Sonoscript?
Time spent creating reports. Imagine, at least for me, I will go to the practice, do like a number of them, 4 or 5, 6 tests. And then I will have to spend, I don't know, maybe 2 hours in my free time at home to finalize the reports. And it became to a point that I had to make a decision whether to continue scanning, continue performing MSK ultrasound to my patients, or stop altogether, because I did not want to spend so much time in documenting findings and creating impressions on a report, that it had to be also as perfect as possible, because that would be something that MD, will review. And of course, as we know, MDs, PTs, there is that kind of discrepancy in their minds that we're inferior. So from that point of view, I had to create something totally perfect. In any case, we had a conversation with Dr. Rawat, and we decided to go ahead and create something that it would be not only important to save time, but it would be also a guide to sonographers when they start their program, their first scanning patients, to be as a guide of taking them step by step in to following protocols and also identifying pathology, which is sometimes we don't know about it. It would be like kind of a prompt to look into further into pathology.
How long time an average report may take before Sonoscript, and how much time with Sonoscript?
If I'm supposed to answer, again, depends the sonographer. There are sonographers that they do a faster report in a way, but at least from what I know from my own experience and asking others, and of course, depending on when do you start doing your scanning, your first year, second year, third year, it's a learning curve, right? So it will take sometimes up to half an hour to write a report, depending on complexity. If it's normal, yeah, it's a quick one. But if you have like a 75-year-old person and you go through a scanning of a shoulder with all the findings, that will take an average of half an hour, at least for me. Others more, others less. Now with this system, it's no more than a few minutes.
Awesome. So it's literally day and night with the Sonoscript application. Dr. Rawat, accurate and consistent access standard descriptions of MSK conditions. What is this all about? How do you define accurate and consistent in this case?
Accurate and consistent. So we use standardized protocols and also documentation guidelines of AIUM and also ESSR. So we keep the format consistent with these guidelines, and accurate because it's based on what you see. So when you state there is a certain problem that you see with scanning, you have to describe it well. And so there is a description there which puts everything in sonographic terms. So as you're scanning, you are clicking those options as you see them. So it helps you write a very accurate report, which is supported by evidence because you have seen evidence of those findings as you're scanning them.
Awesome. On the website, there is also a video description, and I'm going to just play for a moment for our viewers.
Sonoscript MSK Ultrasound Documentation App. The Sonoscript MSK team will set up an account for you on GoCanvas. Once your account is ready, you will receive an invitation email. Download and install GoCanvas Business Forms from the App Store or Google Play. Launch GoCanvas. Use the email/username and password you created from the GoCanvas invitation. Tap Login. Tap the joint you're scanning, for example, ankle. After selecting a joint, the general info screen will automatically load. Required fields will be highlighted in red. Review the potential pathologies and select the applicable ones during the scanning process. At the end of each screen on your device, pre-written paragraphs describing the findings or conditions observed during scanning will appear. These paragraphs can be edited directly on the app or later accessed online. Comparison with the contralateral side is available to help confirm abnormality versus anatomic variation. Impressions. For every finding, an impression will be populated. Additional information field. You can enter brief notes to clarify findings, document minor observations, or include relevant patient details. Sign your report and add your business logo. Done scanning? Submit your findings. Review, edit and download reports online. To edit your reports online, open a web browser and go to gocanvas.com. Select the joint you wish to review under the Submission section, and finalize the report accordingly.
So essentially, anybody who accesses the website can quickly set up the program in 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Okay, good. So what we're going to see now, where it says Sonoscript, is essentially your iPhone, right? Can it be used in any type of device, or it requires only iPhone?
No, it can be any tablet, it can be Android, Apple product, anything. So this is the GoCanvas app, the Sonoscript app, and what you will see when you log in, you will see actually all the forms, which is 6 of them actually, with their 6 joints that we do test on: ankle, elbow, hip, knee, wrist, and shoulder. And that's what you're going to have there, those 6 forms. Of course, you see more now because we're creating with Dr. Rawat different ideas for the future. But in any case, you can have those 6 forms. And if I choose, let's say, the ankle Sonoscript MSK, it will open up with all this table of contents. And the first screen that you have is a general info. And in there, you put in all the data that is related to the patient: name, date of birth. You can put there the referring physician, reason for exam, what side you're going to scan, left, right, type of exam, comparison or not with the other side. And as we know, comparison is something we do kind of often based on our findings. If there is pathology, you're going to compare that with the other side. So you have the choice. And then, of course, comparison with other studies. So you have all these areas there that you have to fill out to begin with. And that's the only mandatory screen. Everything else, as you see, you have the anterior, the lateral, the medial, the posterior, the plantar, the leg. And this is based on protocol. When we scan the ankle joint and we do a complete scanning, the whole joint, you start with the ankle joint. So here you have all the possible pathology related to the anterior ankle. And that's the beauty here. Even if you don't know something, it prompts you to open a book and learn more about it, right? So if you do the study, you do the whole thing, and let's say anterior ankle is normal, you click normal. And what is going to appear in the report? It's going to appear this paragraph. This paragraph here, describes that there is a normal finding for the ankle joint. If it's not normal, then you go and you click, okay, there is a fusion of that joint. You click that, it will appear on the report. And you go through, all the screens, all the sides of the ankle joint, normal or abnormal, based on what you are finding there. And you have also some spaces to put there measurements. For instance, you have the tibial nerve. If you measure it, you can go and write there whatever you're going to write. Whatever you type, it will appear on the report. If nothing is there, it will not appear on the report. So it is created in a way that you don't have to go and delete things, but you go and review the choices that you made on the app.
So essentially, if someone is just starting learning sonography, the fact that the program gives in sequence the protocol of what parts of the ankle joint or the shoulder joint they have to do, that can kind of guide them on the different views that they have to scan. And then they can see the possibilities of the different type of diagnosis. If they find something else, can they just type it? If there is something, let's say, an other condition?
Yeah, there is something here, the additional info, and
Okay.
you can always go and type there whatever you want to type as an additional, and will appear again only if you type something. You don't type anything, it will not appear.
I see. So once the provider finishes with clicking those items, what do they have to do after that before they are able to produce a full report?
I mean, you go sign your the report, and then you submit it. And after you submit it, you have to go to GoCanvas website and do the final editing there. And I can take you there quickly. So after you submit the form, you will go to submissions, and then from there, you go to the specific joint that you perform the test. And from there, you go and you find the one that you send from the device to the computer. And here, what you can do, you can edit pretty much everything. You can go and let's say, okay, I have like a wrong day of examination. It's the 24th, not the 23rd. Okay, so you can go and change that, or the name, or you have the power to go and change even the normal. If you see that there is something that you want to add or remove, you can always go there and change that. And pretty much you go all the way to the bottom, and you can see there that, you can see the signature of the provider, in this case, Dr. Rawat, and of course, your logo. So you have the ability to capture your logo and your signature before you submit the report. And at the end, it will, I'm going to take you to PDF.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to download it so you're going to get a much better view of it in terms of how it really looks as a PDF. And of course, the logo.
Your logo you put on
Yeah,
it.
the logo will be on the tab, is somewhere there, the company.
Oh.
So this is how the report appears, and at the bottom you have your signature, and your signature, of course, is going to be because you will sign the report manually every time you create one. So this is the report.
So how people can sign up?
They can go to the AAMU website.
The AAMU website would be aamskus.com, right?
That's right. Yep.
So they would be here at aamskus.com.
And you can see that orange MSK ultrasound documentation app. That will take them to the page where they can sign up to subscribe for the Sonoscript app.
All right. Sign up now. All right. So what is the cost for subscription?
So it's $99 per month. And for our students, we are giving 20% discount on the subscription price. And this gives them the access to the app, and they can use the app from any of the devices, tablet or iPhone. All the reports get submitted to the portal. So at the end of the day, after they're done with scanning, they have all the listed reports in the submission site. And from there, they can transfer that to wherever they want, their EHR, EMR, or send it out to referring physician.
If somebody has finished a different type of training, they have not studied under the programs of the American Academy of Musculoskeletal Ultrasound, they have studied under different organizations, are they still able to use Sonoscript?
Absolutely. Anyone can use the app, whether they took the courses with us or somewhere else, as long as they use ultrasound in their practice and they want help with documentation. This is the app for them.
The data are, I see here that they are HIPAA compliant.
Yes.
Does it make a big difference if you use the app in a, let's say, a smaller smartphone device versus a larger tablet? Is there a difference or it's equally easy?
It's easier to have your phone because when you're scanning, you need space. And again, the idea with this app is to utilize it while you're scanning. It's not something that you're going to do after the scanning because it defeats the purpose. The
I
idea
see.
is before you scan, you enter the information, and then you have it next to you. I use a stylus because gel is all over your hands. You don't want to keep that on. So you can use that and scroll and click. And again, before you finish and say goodbye to your patient, you click submit and you're done.
That is beautiful because there is big trauma, emotional trauma to healthcare providers when they have to spend another 2 hours, 3 hours after they finish seeing all of their patients just to do reports and write data down. So it's a blessing if they are able to finish everything before they see their patients. That's awesome. Very good. Definitely very, very useful. Anything else you want to add about the program?
I would say that you're scanning, you may be the best sonologist or sonographer out there, but if you're not documenting correctly, your scanning is as good as your documentation. So you have to get good at documentation, and Sonoscript makes it seamless and easy to be very good with documentation.
That's awesome.
That app, the Sonoscript, it is an invitation to all these trade sonographers to do more scanning because I know a lot of them, they stopped doing that because of time issues. And it's a pity because it is our tool. A physical therapist and ultrasound is one thing, it's our extension. That's how I consider it, like the best way to evaluate something. So it is a pity to go through this massive, amazing training and not utilize it at the end. So yes, Sonoscript can be the solution for these individuals.
Definitely. I can see it even very useful in busy physicians' offices when they try to scan their patients and they have another 5 patients waiting outside, they can very quickly use this tool and get all of their reports done at no time. Dr. Rawat, Dr. Rizopoulos, thank you so much for presenting the Sonoscript application. And to all of you, if you found today's episode interesting, please subscribe to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen. And also go to yourpracticeyourmoney.com, where you are going to find there a direct link to go to the Sonoscript application and being able very easily to download it and use it. I'm Dr. Dimitrios Kostopoulos, and this was Your Practice, Your Money, where clinical success meets financial freedom. See you next week, and until then, keep building clinical success and financial freedom. Take care.